What a shockingly legal. Child beauty pageants. In some states, turning left on red onto a one-way street. Every time I do it, I feel like I'm doing something wrong. Corporate donations to political parties. Hey there, are you subscribed yet? Please do. Also leave a like on this video to help out the channel. You didn't talk about which country the act could be legal in, so I'd like to point out that the age of consent in Nigeria is 12. Driving around in a tank. Children and teens legally can't own their own bank accounts in the US. A parent or guardian has to be on the account. Because of this, parents can legally withdraw money from their children's accounts and there is nothing the child can do about it until they turn 18. Taking groceries from other people's carts in a grocery store before they've paid. In France, if a stranger invade your house during your absence for more than 48 hours, you literally can't evict them. If you try to evict them by any means, force, or by changing the locks, or breaking the toilet in order to make them go away, etc., they have the legal right to press charge, and as the owner, you will be convicted faster than they possibly may for invading your property. If you notice the invasion during the 48 hours, you can go to the police, but the process of evicting them is already hard. If you didn't it's your vacation home, then it will be about 3 years before you can evict them through several long and painful procedure. Meantime, you may have your mortgage still running. Also, if your renter decide to stop paying you, it is illegal to evict him as long as he gives you some of the rent every 3 months. Which makes legal for people who rent to screw you. By the way, I am a renter too. And I witnessed my coworker who worked so hard to buy herself an apartment get into years-long procedures to evict some freeloader. Being topless in NYC. I'm glad you are enjoying this video. Before we continue, don't forget to like, subscribe and leave a comment. Commercials for prescription drugs. YE. Big donations being made to politicians, political parties, to influence their decisions. Private ownership of flamethrowers are legal in US and Canada. Senators can legally insider trade. Apparently here in Oklahoma it's perfectly legal to merge onto the interstate at 40 miles per hour. There's a special place in hell for these assholes. First cousin marriage is legal in many US states. Civil forfeiture. If you're ever arrested but not charged, you're free to go. However, any assets that are on your person can be confiscated and you have to prove where you got those assets in order to get it back. In my eyes, that's just theft. Making foie gras. Marrying children in 13 US states. Being able to refuse service to people based on your religious beliefs. The Patriot Act. Marrying your first cousin. Legal in half the US states, recognized in all US states. Lying about being on the pill during a one-night stand, then making the guy pay child support for 18 years. I'm not against poor asterisk, since I watch it. I always find it weird that poor asterisk is legal. But in most states prostitution is illegal. I never understood that. Child marriage in a lot of US states. The trans-gay panic defense. Look it up, it's absolutely horrible. For countries to develop and store nuclear and bioweapons of mass destructions, just insane that we think it's normal, for defense. Any CR1 Teakle fans or not, there is a video about a woman who tortures and eats animals alive. IDK what it's called, but you should be able to find it. Using squatter rights to rob people of their houses. In a country where a shotgun with a 12-inch barrel will land you in jail, flamethrowers are legal to own in most states. How light the sentences are for child molesters and rapists. In my state you can take a motorcycle skills test on a scooter and then ride and then go jump on a Ducati. In most states, it's perfectly fine to bury your loved one in the backyard. Murder. If they're gay and you're in a state that still has the panic defense. You can see someone injured, incapacitated somewhere and have no legal obligation to do even the simplest aid like calling an ambulance. Pasking a police officer. In some US states, the right to fire someone from their job with no cause given. Apparently raping teenagers in Missouri is. Ownership and use of a missile in South Carolina. The fine is also not even $100 if you do it without a permit. Companies don't have to give you a break or pay out accrued PTO in Texas. Joe Rogan makes Texas out to be some utopia, but in a lot of ways it blows. Cannibalism is not outlawed. Allowing Reddit moderators to ban whatever they please. Crisis pregnancy centers. You know, the ones that get government funding and are conveniently located near legit abortion clinics in order to confuse people. Then they tell people lies about how far along they are and the side effects of abortion. Anime that fetishizes a childlike character. Crazy fetishes where people can get hurt. It is a fetish, so, yay. Example, a guy wants his balls kicked many times. Damn. Tasers. Dueling is still legal in some states. Edit, I'm sorry it was abolished federally in 2016. You can buy insulin over the counter without a prescription in some states in the US. Porting X screensaver to Microsoft Bin Bose. Shitting in public. Okay, so you know the bowls on Halloween that say take one? Yay, blowing up an orphanage. The American healthcare system. Grocery stores that ask you if you want to donate for a cause. Once they get it, they donate it and then give themselves a write-off for tax. Biting into Kit Kat bars. Flamethrower. Relationship with a minor. Romeo and Juliet laws helps pedos. Here in South Carolina it's age 16. New York is 17. California is 18 because it seems like everyone is a insta-ho. An 18-year-old can adopt a 17-year-old. Cannibalism. Influencers. For old ladies to steal at least half of the grocery store stock. Walking into a store and leaving without buying anything. Long Island iced teas. A president raping the American taxpayers for almost $500 million by staying at his own properties for golf. Letting terrorists into the country and letting them out of prison. The UK government and justice system is a pathetic, incompetent cuckpuss. Karens. Marrying your first cousin is legal in most states in the US. Trump will resign 1 minute before midnight, get a quiet backroom pardon from Pence. Pence goes in the record books for having also been president temporarily, and Trump gets away with it all. Salvia. McCamey Manor. Gag laws, modern banking, factory farming, destruction of the rainforests, emotional abuse. I could go on, but starting to feel an acute depressive episode coming on. Rushed face, JK. I think. Gerrymandering. Apparently it happens in countries we see as very functional too, e.g. Switzerland, but it less openly talked about. Lobbyism. You private entities of all sorts and interests elect the people who are supposed to represent you. So they are supposed to actually represent the people that elected them, right? I mean, it's okay to inform politicians about one's interests. Though it isn't okay, emo, to do that if you definitely have a highly disproportionate amount of resources to do so. Let me abstract it. People of lower income have to put in a lot of effort to gather enough people so that the politicians actually hear them. Meanwhile, big companies just have to arrange a dinner or something of that sorts, and voila. And I'm not even talking about actual corruption. Just the legal part. If we factor in corruption, things get even worse. And that stuff like this doesn't get regulated, except for a transparent lobby register that exists only in some countries, leaves me in absolute disbelief and further discourages me from engaging more in politics or voting in general. My vote does not count. Eating roadkill. Buying air raid sirens. Staying up past 2030. Child marriage in the US of A. Look it up. Actually really bad and really corrupt. Picking up cows in helicopters. My city is ducking mental. It is legal to eat roadkill in Wyoming. Nipple clamps attached to a battery. Cannibalism. I got so happy when I found out. Cuties, not the tangerines. The age of consent, age at which a minor can participate in sexual intercourse, with rules attached, is only 16 in many areas. This is where most abortions actually come from. Teens not waiting to get active, and then having a child that they can't take care of. There are more locations with a lower age requirement rather than higher. Miniguns in America. Tasers. Karens. Dueling is still legal in Delaware. It is legal to not stop at a stop sign on private property. That it's only a war crime if you lose. Oral sex. What the hell has happened to Texas? Slavery in the United States. The right to bear arms. Abortion. You can have everything for free if you come in a store with a gun and a mask. In many places, cannibalism is legal but just about any way to acquire the stuff is not. Murdering animals. Socks with sandals. Deep fried butter. Racism, sexism, and ableism are not illegal unless they impinge on another's right to work or live, or if you are the 45th President of the USA. I believe cannibalism is legal in some places, only the murdering is illegal. I might be wrong though. Pedophilia is legal in all 50 US states. You are completely allowed to have fantasies. It's just the act of rape is illegal. Cannibalism is also perfectly legal, it's just you have to murder someone to get the meat. Electing an asshole for government, look at where it got us. Forcing children to work in an institution for 40 hours a week without pay until they're 18. Fully automatic guns. Walking into a Walmart with a gun. Not being legally smart enough to own a gun. Marijuana. Terminating a human fetus because its existence is simply unwanted. Cases of medical emergency are the exception. Police killing black people in the USA. Abortion. People who fit the description of mask shooters to AT being allowed to walk around with mask shooter guns. Bike locks. Just think of the many ways you could sneakily just lock something and ruin that person's day.